There are days I don't want to train at all. Not tired, from hard workout tired, wife tired, dad tired, mentally checked out tired. This episode isn't about hype or discipline quotes. It's about what actually gets me to train when motivation is at zero. Welcome back to the Hybrid Athlete Dad podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how I train when motivation is completely gone. Now, before I dive into today's episode, I like to go over anything in my life when it comes to fitness, when it comes to nutrition, anything that I think that you may find informational or being able to just take away and utilize in your own life. Now, we're about actually when this episode goes live, we are going to be in the new year. Now, with the new year, I don't want you to get this motivation where you get super excited, you have all these goals, all these plans, you hit the ground running, January's coming, you're doing good, and then you miss a day or two here, you start falling off, and the next thing you know, it's February and you're right back to where you started the year before. That's not what I want to see. I want you to use 2026 and make it the best year that you can and continue to just make consistent progress each and every day. I've noticed it even at the gym the last 2 weeks with the week of Christmas, and now we have the week of New Year's when I've been recording these episodes. And just the gym is almost like a ghost town this time of year. People have time off, and they're enjoying time with their family, nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to fall into the trap of taking so much time off that you end up getting comfortable with not going to the gym, with not working out, and with not showing up. So just make sure that as we go into the new year, that you're getting to the gym, you're focusing on your nutrition, your cardio, and you're just becoming that better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Now, in today's run, it was one where I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to do it. I was looking at the weather, which I do for most runs, just to see what's going on. And there's an ice storm in effect where I am, where I run. So I'll pretty much run through any condition out there. It really doesn't bother me. I'll run through wind, I'll run through rain, even if it's snowing. What I hesitate to run in is ice, just because who wants to run in ice? I just have my normal Hokas that I would be running in, and they'd be slipping, and I don't want to slip and fall and potentially hurt myself. So I was looking at the weather and trying to get into the car today. Our car was parked outside our house, and I was trying to maybe 10 yards from the door, if that is where our car is parked. So try to get to the car, and was just sliding down the driveway. I had my Noble weightlifting shoes on and was barely able to make it to the car. Getting into the gym, parked about 20 yards away from the door, and was trying to walk into the gym if you were also sliding. So I wasn't sure what today's run was going to be. Our daughter's daycare ended up getting delayed a little bit, so when I dropped her off a little bit later, I noticed that there was definitely black ice, but it wasn't everywhere. It's like, okay, I can get this run in. Now, I got the run in. I did my 5 miles like I typically do on Mondays, but it was downpouring sideways. It's about 35, 36 degrees, so it wasn't a warm rain. It wasn't the most enjoyable run, but I made it through it. There was one part where I run around a school near me just to get a little bit extra distance in, and at this point I hit about the 2 mile mark. 3 miles to go, just run through a gigantic puddle. Didn't really have a choice. It was just right in front of me. So had the shoes waterlogged, and then trying to run through the remainder of the school, running through the parking lot. That part was still pretty much all ice. So I was moving pretty slow, but got the run in, got it completed, feel much better because there's never a time where I go out and I run and I'm like, wow, I feel terrible after that. Maybe maybe if I did a 100 miler, but I mean you're still you're still feeling pretty good that you went out and you got the run in. So I try to get that run in no matter what. I try not to let the elements come into play. I'll take a look at them just to make sure I'm not going to be an idiot with them, but got that run in today. Now it leads me into today's episode, which again is how I train when motivation is completely gone. Now, the reality of motivation as a dad is that it's just unreliable when you're a parent. You have sleep disruption, our daughter waking up throughout the night, especially when you're a new parent. Our daughter had been sick a few weeks ago. She got us up in the middle of the night. You have work stress where it can be very demanding at times. There's responsibilities, there's people relying on you. Then you have your family responsibilities, which is showing up for my wife and showing up for my daughter. And what I learned is that feeling like I should go for a run or feeling like I should go to the gym, it just doesn't work anymore. If I only trained when I was motivated, I would maybe only train once a week because motivation is a bonus, but not a requirement to get in shape, to get into the gym. Because at the end of the day, you when you have a child, there's so much chaos in the day, and there's so much you're no longer just taking care of yourself. I know how to take care of myself. I know what to do in a day-to-day basis. But now I have this human, this tiny little human that's fully dependent on me, that life can throw you curveballs. So if I only worked out when I felt like it, I probably wouldn't want to work out. I didn't feel like going out there and getting that run in today. Who wants to run when it's 35 degrees and downpouring and it's freezing rain and my shoes are waterlogged and the cars drive by and splash with the water? I don't want to do that, but I do it anyways because I don't let that motivation hit me because I know if I looked at the weather and it was cold, it was rainy, it was windy, I wouldn't be nearly going on as many runs as I go on today. Now, some days I don't aim for perfect. I just aim to get to the gym and I just get into the workout routine. And I know that there are days where I don't feel 100% going to my workout, but my goal is just showing up and start moving. There's been so many times where I'm exhausted, I'm sore, I'm super stressed out. Where, oh, if I just took an extra hour to work instead of going to the gym and working out or going out on this run. But once I get to the gym, I start working out. Once I get out there, I start getting that run in. I realize sometimes I have the best workouts then. I have the best runs that I have of the week then, or even the month, or even the run that I can remember in a while. And it's getting started. It's that initial just getting over that hump and pushing yourself out there because getting started I find is the hardest part. Like getting out there and getting into that run today, it was mentally hard. It was knowing I know how I'm gonna feel. I know how it's gonna go, but I don't let that hold me back. I get the shoes on, I get the gear on, I get outside the door, start the watch, and I get going. And now I can't make any excuses because I'm already showing up. You have to have these non-negotiables with yourself over the feelings that you have in that moment. Don't debate if you're going for a run or if you're going to the gym. Only how. How am I going to get this run in? How am I going to get this workout in? Because I don't want to think about, oh, maybe I'll go to the gym at this point, or maybe I'll get my run in at this point in the day. No, it's a non-negotiable. I'm getting this run in. I'm getting this workout in because having non-negotiables helps remove decision fatigue. Because my identity is bigger than just having motivation. I'm someone who trains, I'm someone who runs, I'm someone who eats healthy, I'm someone who my daughter sees prioritizes health. Because at the end of the day, feelings change, but systems stay the same. The system I have is what I put into my body, what I do at the gym, what I do for cardio outside of the gym. And I'm always trying to set that example for my daughter because, again, she's 2.5 years old. She obviously doesn't have a full understanding of everything that's going on from trying to set the example so she can see me setting that example time and time again. And I'm training for who's watching because I'm not just training for me anymore. And I know I just talked about it a little bit, but my daughter is watching. She's watching what consistency looks like. She's watching what commitment looks like. She's seeing what a healthy lifestyle looks like. Because that perspective gets me out the door more than motivation ever has. I'm remembering, who am I doing it for? Am I going to tell my daughter, I chose to eat unhealthy today because it feels better for me than eating a high quality chicken breast, high protein meal for lunch? Or I didn't feel like going out for this run today because it was raining. Or to rather show her that I went out, I got this run in when it was raining and it sucked and I didn't want to be out there, but I did it anyway. But even then, I still don't feel like doing it. And I find that when I have that feeling, when I really just, I don't want to do it at the end of the day, it's just, again, it's just all about getting started. It's about putting yourself out there. It's about getting in the car. It's putting your your gear out before the night you go to the gym or that you go for your run. It's switching up your programs. It's switching up your running routes. It's doing everything you can to just maybe switch it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, thinking about it, like, who am I doing this for? Yes, I want to be healthy and in good shape for myself, but I want to continue to set that example for my daughter. At the end of the day, motivation will come and go. It's the identity and habits that carry you through. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. I'm going to the gym these 5 days. I'm getting these 5 runs in. I know what workouts I'm doing during the days. I know what routes I'm going to be running for the most part throughout the week. So that way, I don't even have to think about it. It's just a part of my identity and who I am and what I do day in and day out. Because you don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. Because even just having an okay workout is still keeping that habit alive. And if you're a dad trying to balance fitness, family, and life, you're not weak for lacking motivation. You're human. Keep showing up. Your future self and your kids will thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode on how I train when motivation is completely gone. And I hope you tune into next week's episode where I discuss what I tell my pre dad self about training.